Quick one before we get going on this video, guys. This is a full 360 video, so don't just stare straight ahead. Have a look around. Drag the screen, move your phone, whatever you're watching on. There's stuff happening everywhere, not just in front of me. Although I will do my best to point the camera where I think is the most interesting. I'm not going to be pointing things out every 2 seconds either. That's kind of the whole point of the 360 videos. This is more like just being here, walking it, taking it in, figuring it out as we go. Some bits will feel busy, some bits won't. Sometimes I'll be talking, sometimes I'll just let it breathe a bit so you can look around properly. If you stick with it, it starts to feel a lot more like you're actually on the ship, rather than just watching a plain flat video of it. And by the end of this, you should have a pretty good feel for how MSC Musica actually works. Not the brochure version, the real thing. Alright, let's go. Right, so this is MSC Musica. And at this part, at the start of a cruise, it's always a little bit strange. You step on board and for a while you don't really have a clue where anything is. Everything kind of blends together a bit. So you end up with the same carpets, the same corridors, lifts that don't quite go where you expect, and you're just wandering around hoping you end up somewhere useful. So this is basically that. Just walking it out, figuring it out. No real plan here. No proper route. Just seeing where things lead. Because that's how you actually learn a ship. You go the wrong way, turn around, and end up somewhere else. Do that a few times, and then suddenly you're not thinking about it anymore. You just know where things are. By the way, if you're into this kind of thing, just walking around, seeing what it's actually like, hit subscribe. There's a full run of these coming up for this. Up on the higher decks now, this looks fairly relaxed. But you gotta bear in mind that on a sea day, this is a completely different story. On a sea day, this place is packed. Some beds can be gone early, and people tend to get settled in. To be fair though, there actually are plenty of sunbeds on this ship. So that's good and always nice to know, especially before you get on. You know, people kind of find their spot early enough on a cruise, and they more or less try to stick to it all week. So if you want to get that certain seat down by the pool, or maybe it's close to the bar, or maybe you want it in that quiet spot, you better go stake it out early enough in the morning if you really want to have it, especially on a sea day. Back here at the stern, it feels different. You notice the movement a lot more either at the front or the back of a ship. But the wake, when the ship is going, me personally, I just end up staring at it way longer than I mean to. I really love just staring out over the wake. Obviously you can't see that in port, ship is just under 300 meters long. It's about 16 decks and holds over 3,000 passengers when at full capacity. It can have anywhere up to just over 1,000 crew on board as well. It is mad just to think about it. Everything on the ship here is constant, 24/7, probably in reality close to 365. Food, power, water, everything a city needs, all running all the time. Everything on board a cruise ship has to earn its space. So areas like this, they're built to do a few different things. So you've got like basketball, soccer, tennis, and pretty much anything else they can do here. It's pretty good. They generally find good ways to use these on ships. Did you know they make their own fresh water here on board? From seawater. When you're out at sea, they're making hundreds of thousands of liters a day. The funnels that you can see, they look like they're here for some sort of a design element, just to make the ship look cool. But they're doing some serious, real work. When a lot of MSC ships were updated, they added scrubber systems to reduce emissions. Keep in line with EU regulations. Down here on the pool deck is where most people end up though. Music is going, people are in and out of the pool, there's drinks constantly moving, especially with there being two bars up here. It can build up kind of slowly. It's not busy first thing in the morning. It's not full on straight away. But on this ship, there's two main pools, a few hot tubs, no indoor pool, and that kind of loses a couple of marks for me. So, with there being just outdoor pools here, the weather does matter more. Given where this ship sails, that's usually not that big of an issue. The pools themselves, it depends on the day. Sometimes they're calm, sometimes they're not so calm. You can get a free wave treatment sometimes. But after a while on a cruise ship, you begin to notice the small stuff. We're going to get a good coffee. Where the best bar people are. Which bar is going to serve you quicker? That's important. And the other one is where you can actually sit down and relax a bit. Surprisingly hard on some cruise ships. Not on MSC Musica though. This ship has plenty of areas to sit down, relax, and chill out. I really like that. So here we are inside the ship. We've gone away from the upper decks and we're right down here on deck 5. It feels different, doesn't it? It feels a bit more enclosed, even with the big windows around the place. But there's more going on. And you start crossing through the same places over and back again, especially on deck 5, because it's not a huge area, but there are a few things down here that you'll be doing regularly. MSC has grown massively over the past years. Ships like this were the big jump into bigger ships, into bigger itineraries, pushing into the US market. This ship, the first of the Musica class, is very important. The atrium area changes depending on the time. Daytime it's fairly relaxed. Later on, it's completely different. You get a lot more people, a lot more atmosphere, a bit of music, the bars start to tick up. It's good. There are loads of lounges around this ship, and they all find their own crowd. Some of them are quieter.
So we are on which one? Un attimo controllo se abbiamo un'altra.
Some of them are busier.
No, that was the last one. Esa era la última. So, okay. Come non c'era?
You don't plan it. Well, you do a bit, but mostly you just end up in them. You usually end up finding your spot and sticking with it, and that's pretty good. I've seen that with a lot of cruises. On all the cruises I've been on, we found our bar, we found our coffee spot, we found our favorite seats, and we generally found ourselves going back there a lot.
Come and see me before you depart. I am my
on deck 7, it leans more into the nighttime side of things. You've got your casino up here. You've got the bars up here. You've got a fair bit more noise up here.
All close complete. Yes. Ciao. Yo. Proceed.
Sí, pero chatear, pero ¿dónde doy yo aquí para hablar con ella ahora? Ah, que azul, no, vale, perfecto, ya.
So I said earlier, you end up with a couple of spots that you keep going back to. Maybe it's not the biggest spot. Maybe it's not the busiest spot. Maybe it is the biggest spot. Maybe it is the busiest spot. It's the ones that feel right to you. And that usually comes down to you as a person. I and my wife, we personally loved the wine bar. The staff were a huge part of that. Really, they were just the best. The casino only really runs properly once you're in international waters. And, let's be honest about this, the odds are terrible in this casino. Don't come here thinking you're gonna win. You're probably not. But if you got a few bob that you can afford to lose in the name of entertainment, sure, have at it. Enjoy. So, yeah, that's kind of the ship. At the start, when you first get on, it can feel huge. It can feel massively confusing, and it can feel a bit all over the place. But if you give it a day or two, you won't even think about it. This place is gonna be like home.
Can we say hello?
Hello? Oh yeah. Thanks guys. We'll see you later.
Ciao.
If you made it this far, you probably like this kind of video. So yeah, hit subscribe. There's a full series coming on this trip. Ports, more ship stuff, a bar crawl, all of it. And if you want to follow it properly from the start, now's the time. I appreciate you watching, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for getting this far. It means so much to me and the channel. Thank you.